Okay, more Carthersville stories.
Uncle Hot was a businessman. He, as a very young fella, was taken in hand by someone that ran a bank in Carthersville and taught the banking business. And he owned several businesses. He owned the store on Ward Avenue, there next door to where Aunt Sue and Uncle Robert, Ellen, and Bobby lived. And so there was some kind of, I don't know, it became Aunt Sue and Uncle Robert's. And he opened a automotive sales. Uncle Robert, let's start over. Uncle Hot ran several businesses. At one time he had the Massey Harris dealership, and at Christmas they gave me a model combine with the little wheel that turns and pulls in the seed heads and they clip them off, you know, and gave Tommy a tractor, a Massey Harris tractor, and I don't know, a material spreader or something that pulled behind it. Wagon, I'm not sure. Anyway, he had some deals with the Dodge dealership there, and I'm not sure whether he owned that or partnership in that or just what. But he was involved in several things, and then he started buying farmland. He was I can't think
Quite the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur?
Yeah, he was an entrepreneur, but what he was elected to office where you collect taxes.
Oh, okay.
And he was aware when someone would die that had property.
Wondered how he got all that land.
He would be able to
buy the taxes
when that was going on sale and be there to, if it was at a reasonable price, purchase it. So he ended up with a rather large holding of land, and that he would put up cash in the beginning of the crop year in order for the people who own the equipment to plant have the money for fertilizer and gasoline and all that. He had to put up his third or half or whatever it was, and then at the end of the year he either came out good or not so good according to how the crop year was. But he loved to take Tom and I, or me in particular, in his vehicle around and look at these crops. And he had a farm up near Portageville. He had a couple of farms there close to Carthersville.
And they were all on the Mississippi River bottom, right?
No, the Mississippi River was right there.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, yes, it was in that. But now I think what you're getting at is that there was a levee around Carthersville, and he had 100 and something acres of land that lay within the levee, between the levee and the river, so that when the river got up, the land flooded. He came home and he told Aunt Mary that he had bought this property, and she said, "But Hot, it's flooded. How do you know it's still there?" And he just chuckled. He thought it was funny that she would think that maybe the land wasn't still there when the water went down. But anyway, he had to wait many years until way up into the year for it to get dry enough to plant. But he was kind of wise in that way, and made himself a fortune.
Self-made millionaire.
Self-made millionaire. Left a large majority of his property when he died to a college, and I forget the name of the college, but they remembered all of us kids in a small way. I think Judy and I got, what, 5,000? Anyway, we appreciated being remembered. And I think due to my marriage problems, Aunt Mary saw to it that Judy got as much out of the will as I did, to be sure that she understood that she was cared for too.
Well, I think that might have been because I went down there a few times and did some things for her. I cleaned her oven, and I gave her, I know one time she wasn't feeling very well, and I gave her a bath that she needed, and I very intimately, she asked me to clean places that you wouldn't normally ask somebody to clean for her. But she wasn't able to clean them, and I always felt like that's why she included me. Because I did take
She had her reason, and she did leave Judy as much as she did me. And I understood that she left Judy and I together as much as she had left for Tom or other cousins. Jerry, I think, got some land from them, and
Laura
Jean and Becky got a big...
The most. Laura Jean says she's never worked since Aunt Mary and Uncle Hot passed away. She's taken care of hers. Becky has not.
I won't get into that.
Yeah, that's fine.